Hi guys, Nikki Hinkle here. So I wanted to talk to y'all about something today. I was just listening to Brene Brown's newest book, Rising Strong, on audible.com as I was driving. And she was talking about an interview that she had, or a meeting that she had with Ed Catmull, who is the CEO of, or the president of Pixar. And they were discussing stories and the importance of stories in life. And primarily about Act 2 of your story. So in every story you have Act 1, which is pretty much like the setting of the story. It's where your dreams are made. It's where you where you decide what you want to happen. Foreshadowing happens in Act 1. Relationships are built in Act 1. Act 1 is always kind of dreamy and lovely. And then you have Act 2. Act 2 is where the turmoil comes in and tragedy happens and hard times come. And then Act 3 is typically the end, where the story comes full circle and everything comes together, and you typically see, victory and, that dream finally achieved, and it just comes together. And so this is how basically the setup of every story. You have the intro, you have trauma or turmoil, and then you have the happy ending. And she was talking about that in life, and how she was looking back on some of her stories that she's used to talk about, and how she skipped over Act 2. And it is very important to never, ever, ever skip Act 2. Act 2 is the act that we hate the most. It's not a fun act, but it is where character is built. It's where we learn about ourselves. It's where leaders emerge. Act 2 is absolutely essential in every one of our stories and everything in life. It's not just with our Plexus businesses, but with our relationships, with everything. You're going to have an Act 2 at some point or another. And what I urge you today to think about is what in life are you in Act 2 in right now? And never walk away from your story in Act 2. Like, I can't emphasize that enough. You will never experience Act 3 if you always leave in Act 2. You'll never get to see your story unfold. And you're worth that. Like, you're worth seeing your story unfold. So if you feel like you're in Act 2 right now in your Plexus business, and it's hard, I understand. I'm in an Act 2 right now, and it's hard. Sometimes your story is going to be told many times in one thing. You're not maybe just going to have one Act 2. You're gonna go through it again. But at the end of Act 2 comes Act 3. If you walk away in Act 2, you never get to see what happens in Act 3. I want you to think about how many relationships in the past that you might have walked away in Act 2. When you go to a new relationship, do you get to go straight to Act 3? You don't. You have to start with Act 1. So you'll never experience your full story if you don't persevere through Act 2. And it's absolutely essential in defining who we are. And it's good. It's good stuff happens in Act 2, as much as we hate going through it. I get it. I hate it. At the end, it's good. It's what makes us who we are. So I urge you today, no matter what it is in life, if you feel like you're in an Act 2, don't skip it. You can't skip it, and you can't bail. Good stuff is coming. Thanks, guys.